Finally, hi.
Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Nathalie Dewez. Did I pronounce it?
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
it's in Flemish, it would be Nathalie Dewez, which is, yeah,
Dewez.
hard to pronounce probably.
Beautiful, beautiful. Designer, interior designer from Antwerp, Belgium.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to have you on today.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much
much.
for taking your time to join me and share your story and background. I'm so looking forward to it.
Thank you. Me too. So nice to talk to you as well on the other side of the world. It's
Yeah,
always nice to connect.
I agree. Nathalie and I have we've connected since I started out on my own, kind of just
Yeah.
intermittently throughout the process, and she's just been such a joy and so supportive all the way throughout. We always are complimenting each other on our work, and I love that. I love to share that connection and supporting one another, entrepreneurs in the same industry. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I agree
Yeah,
completely. It's always
yeah,
nice. Yeah. To
I
really
agree
see other
too.
people's work and,
Uh-huh.
just compliment them. If you do a good job, you do a good job. It should be said.
No, I totally agree, and also we inspire one another. Um,
Definitely.
uh, even the connection alone is inspiring, and it keeps you moving through the hard times. Whenever you have someone that you know relates on every
Yeah.
level and has experienced the same challenges and even rewards, I guess, in the
Yeah.
industry that you have, you kind of have that uh, instant bond, and it's super special. But
Yeah, that's
um
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, would you like to tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the industry, and was this always your career path? Were you always interested in design?
Um, yes, always. Since I was a kid, I was drawing, and drawing. And then when I got a little bit older, I was sewing clothes and always with fabrics and interior. I was always remodeling my own bedroom as a young girl. So always been into that. Yeah. And then yeah, it changed. You get married, you know how it goes, you have children. So then it was like on a low level, and then I started more sewing, really, like fashion clothes and things like that, giving advice for interior advice. And then like 5 years ago, I started completely full-time on my own as a full-time decorator. And yeah, so that was the real step, yeah, for the business. And yeah, I was really, until now, I'm so positive and so grateful. Have been so many nice projects and nice people. Yeah, every time it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot, that it's every time different and it's a new challenge. And yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Um, I've met so many designers that started out in the fashion
Yeah.
industry. I too started that way.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
know.
it's so the two industries are so similar. It's just
Yes.
with different subjects,
Yeah.
and um, and it also becomes, I think that you become familiar or more accustomed to the colors that work well together, the fabrics, the patterns, things of that
Yeah.
nature. Whenever you start out in fashion and then move to interiors, I think it's kind of, you understand materiality uh,
Yes.
in a way
it's
that
it's the
uh,
love for the materials and the
yes.
textiles and the fabrics and the different yeah, I think that is in both worlds, as well as in fashion as in interior design, is very important and very similar. It's
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I really love, you know, when I see a little shop when I'm on a holiday and I see like a fabric shop. I immediately go inside, and yeah, I get lost of time, track of time, or how do you say it? So yeah, it's the love of the love for textiles and the details, and the compositions, and to make the home warm. You know, you can also dress cold but warm, and you can also do that with a home. You know, you can make it really cold, or you can really make it really cozy and warm, and that's what the fabrics and the textiles do. That is the biggest thing to make it a really a home.
I agree. I completely agree. And I think that you do a brilliant job at that. Like your work is exceptional because it is, you have this like juxtaposition between like the beauty, the aesthetic, and also adding in these beautiful textures, and it creates this warm yet perfectly curated space. It's so lovely. I am so inspired by you.
Thank you. I do love the brand Society Livante that I use a lot, of course. It's a home collection. Yeah, it's a beautiful collection which I use almost all the time in my projects, and that's really it's a very beautiful collection. I just love the collection so much, and it really goes into a lot of different kind of interiors as well. It's not only very modern or very more, how do you say that, all the different styles. It goes into any style, actually. You just have to have the eye to adjust the collection to the style of the home.
To pair it properly.
Yeah.
You've collaborated with so many beautiful different artists and brands, and I was going to highlight the Society. How was it because you used their product and that collaboration came about?
No, that's not how it came up. No. It's actually, it went all different. A different way. So I just started, I saw the collection, I knew the collection, and I just started working with it. And a lot of, there was a lot of needs for somebody to really also work with the architects that could be like like a personal assistant for interior decorating with Society's home collection. So that's how I really concentrated on that subject, and that's how it grew.
Wow. So did you collaborate with them to create your own line with
no,
them?
No.
Okay, so it's just a partnership.
Yeah. It's their collection. It's their collection,
okay.
And yes.
Understood.
Yeah, it's their collection. Yeah. So, but they have a lot of products. So like the bedding and you have the kitchen linen and the bath linens. You have porcelain, ceramics, curtains. There's so many of their products, and it's such a beautiful collection. And it's always changing. We have there's how do you say that? Pieces that are always in the fixed collection, and there's seasonal collection. So you have opportunities for a lot of interiors to really adapt to the needs of the interior and the needs of the client, of course, which is very important. Talking a lot to the clients, listening to the clients, asking what their needs are, how they live. It's a process. It's a process. It takes a lot of time. It's not just sometimes people might think that it is just making up a bed, for example. I'm just saying something, but it takes a lot of interior detailed information. How big is the bed? What is the height of the bed? You know, are you easily cold? Are you not cold? What kind of cushion do you sleep in? All these details you need to know before you can really start decorating the bed. It's not
Right.
just, needs not just to be beautiful, it needs to be functional, needs to be practical. It's a combination of everything.
No, yeah, I agree with that. A lot of people don't realize all of the details that go into design and how many moving parts there actually are. They see
For
the
sure.
beautiful end reveal, but they don't see all of the in between that's like grunt work,
Yeah,
hustling. Like it is hard work, you know,
it
and
is.
keeping up with that. And then also, um, understanding what textiles, what materials, what pieces will best fit the client's needs and their lifestyle
Yes.
is definitely a skill, and I think that's part of the magic almost, you know. It's making the space both functional and also aesthetically pleasing so that you can, and livable too. So
Yes, of course. Very
mhm,
important. Very important. Needs to be
very.
livable as well. Yes.
What is
Yeah.
your favorite part of the design process?
Mm,
What do you think?
I don't know. I think maybe uh, really starting from the first process, and then actually the styling, you know, really the last part of it when it comes all together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's really nice. Yeah. Yeah, both. Really just the startup. I like the startup really. And then yeah, at the last part, the really, yeah, the styling and coming all together. And then the client who's finally also sees the work you've done, and
Vision, yes.
yeah, so that, yeah, that, I guess that those are the most yeah, I would prefer those two then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. The beginning connection is always so important to me. Really learning and understanding your client, and even in the industry with other artists and designers, connection is is my favorite part of the job. And so the beginning of projects where we're learning and trying to understand what they need, and pairing our knowledge and expertise with whatever it is, other brands, artists, and whatnot like that, and so that we can eventually have this amazing, beautiful reveal. Is mine as well. My
Yeah.
favorite part as well. I mean, the middle is just like pure chaos. I
Yeah.
mean, right?
Yeah, often.
Often there's always, it never goes perfectly. There's always like hiccups,
Yes.
always
Yeah,
road bumps, with as with anything, you know, in life. I
that's
think
true.
that
That's true. There's no job without hiccups.
no, there's not. And that's it. It's also, there's beauty in that as well, because
Sure.
we learn so much
We
from
learn from that every time,
Mhm.
again and again, which is great. There's nothing more that I do like than learning. It's a process, but every time again you learn, and that's great. I think that is just amazing about this job. It's never two times the same thing.
Right.
It always changes, and you learn and you learn and you keep on learning, which is, yeah, a big part that I love about this
Yeah.
job as well, actually. Yeah, never really thought about that, but I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we become like stagnant whenever we're no longer learning, but it's true. You go through these problems, you learn how to solve
Yeah.
them, and then you're better equipped for the next project
Yeah.
whenever it comes up. And then
Yes.
there's another problem that
Yeah.
happens
Yes.
that you need to solve. But
Yeah.
it's it's so much fun. I am so grateful to be able to do what we do for a living.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
just there's nothing. I find it like a true blessing.
It is definitely. Yeah. It's nice to be learning and changing and evolving and always, Yeah, it's a very nice, it's a job where you will always be evolving and
Mm-hmm.
learning and meeting new people. It's a very versatile job as well, which
Mm-hmm.
is nice.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree too. Would you describe your aesthetic? How would you describe your aesthetic? And is it representative of Belgium? Belgium, and have you always has it evolved over time, or is there been like one kind of common thread throughout?
A common thread would be something that I personally love is very light interiors. I
Okay.
love light colors and light textures. It's always, for me personally, more appealing to the eye. So there's a lot of people, designers that are using a lot of dark colors. It's not that I don't use it, but I prefer light colors. So that definitely would be something that is always coming back. Um, and is it more Belgium? Yes, I guess so, because I also look to other designers in the world, and they're more versatile. I think that the styles are different. It's a typical Belgian style, I guess. But there's also other interiors that you might not find on my Instagram, for example, that is not that style. So you have to always work with the client and the project and what they like. Also, of course, you
Yeah.
have to be able to do that too.
Uh-huh.
But is it always changing? Yes, I guess so too, because everybody changes. So me
Yeah.
getting older, every time everything changes. So I think also your style changes a little bit, and I think that's a natural process actually.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes. Yeah, I find the same. I think that it's ever evolving.
Yeah,
Eh, and 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 also that you do have to be able to adapt to different clients
yeah,
and environments and circumstances and uh, you should be able to integrate your aesthetic with the clients as well.
yes, yeah, for sure.
So it should be universal almost, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually that's a good way to say it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And then you're kind of learning too, because
Yeah, sure.
sometimes that aesthetic doesn't come naturally to you, so you then like delve into a style or a period that the client prefers, and it just kind of expands your skill set, I think,
Yes, for
based
sure.
on these different projects.
Yes, then you have to go do research and start
Yeah.
all over, and yeah, and learning again. And then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely, yeah. But that's what we love, right? That's what we do. And
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
just what is nice about the job too, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Um, have you always lived in Belgium?
No, I actually lived in the US for 2 years, long time ago, long time ago. Yeah, and I still love the States, still drawn to it actually. Hope to come there one day and live again or work again. I don't know. But yeah, I've always been drawn to the States, and yeah, ever since.
Uh, yes. Nathalie and I connected last week, and I was we were discussing that her love for the States, and she said that she wants to come back soon. And I was like, please, and let's travel together, let's meet up, let's um, I would love to kind of show you around. I'm not sure if Houston is on your list of places to come, but
Well,
I would show you
actually,
around.
it was one, and it still is, of course, because I've never been to Houston. But yeah, it is on my list. Yeah, very, very coincidence, but it is. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Do you think that your living here, your experience here in the U.S. is it also kind of informed some of your design decisions.
Well, yes, I actually, the time that I was over there, you see the big differences in interior and in fashion and the way Americans live and how we live in Belgium, because not all Europeans live the same. Of course, not all Americans live the same either, but you do see a lot of differences, and you notice that, and you pick that up, and then you think about things like this, and does it have an influence? Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think so. It had. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What were the big differences that you saw between US and Belgium? Just
Well,
curious.
yes, it's very long time ago. So the I really noticed that every house was built like from wood, and in Belgium everything is built with bricks.
Okay.
We don't have, so we yeah, the so that was, I was very young, and I was like, wow, yeah, I never really knew that, you know, which is maybe stupid thing to say, but that was the first big difference. And also, like, the interior walls were like thinner in the States, and they were all from is it, I don't know if it's the right word.
Sheetrock.
Sheetrock, yeah, right. So which is not common in Belgium, you know. Now, after so many years, people use it more and more. I'm actually not an architect, so I'm a decorator. I'm not an architect, so I don't build the houses. But of course, this is also things of that really interest me. So and that were like the little things that I started already seeing very fast when I was living there, that it was very different way of building a house, a home. Also, a lot of more carpet that is being used in the States than in Belgium. Actually, this I can say that more and more carpet is being used at this moment in projects, but not as it was in the States. No. So that are things that always stayed with me. Yeah.
So what are the walls made? What's the material for walls there in Belgium that's most common?
Also bricks and insulation, and then we have the plasterworks, and then it needs to dry. This is a very simple way to say it. But if you use the Chyprock, it doesn't need to dry that long, you know, so you can move forward more fast, more quickly, which in Belgium, to build a house, it takes a much longer time than in US. Although in the US you need much more time to get your papers to start the permits, right? Which is, yeah, of course it takes some time here too, and but not as long as in the States. So that's different. Yeah.
That's why the walls are always so stunning and beautiful in all of the Belgian interiors. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do we get this? How do we achieve this? And that makes sense because and probably also thinner here too because of the material that's used.
Much.
So there, it's sturdier over.
Yes.
In Belgium.
But I also really found really weird, because that was very long time when I lived there, is that people also like lease furniture to live in their home. That was something that I never heard of. so crazy. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, okay. People can lease furniture and live in this furniture, and when they are tired of it, they can just bring it back and choose something else. That was really, really new for me. Yeah, but of course this was like more than 25 years ago, so please.
Oh no, I mean it's still a thing today. I have not, but it's I think it's convenient for those who need something temporary. Like for instance, whenever we had in the past, we've had projects where clients had nothing and no furniture moving in, and these custom pieces took much longer than we needed. So
Yeah.
we had to have a fill-in there.
Yes.
But there are some people who use leased furniture all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's convenient for certain aspects of
Of
it.
course. Of course. Yes. But it was something that I never heard of. Even now here, it's not really a thing. Like leasing furniture, it's maybe starting business, but
Yeah,
it's not really something that happens a lot over here. So, but
yeah,
maybe it's a new business. Who knows?
exactly. Yes, for sure. Yeah, you can bring a little bit of the States over there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also staging. Staging.
Staging was also something that, it was never, it's was never done in Belgium. Now, since last few years, you see it more and often, but it's still not really that
Common.
common. No, no, definitely not. But it's definitely a thing that is growing. That's for sure. But only for the last couple of years. So that is also something very American that is now coming over here. Yeah.
To be honest, staging, it was always kind of more of a I guess lower end kind of thing. Within the last probably 5 years, have
Yes.
there been these companies that came up with a very high end staging
Yes.
firm, and so that has developed, and it will also bring them clients as far as like interiors and whatnot, because some buyers want to which is brilliant, because some buyers want to purchase everything in the home whenever they've walked through, instead of having to go through the design process and starting from scratch.
Yeah.
So it is a very smart. The firm that I used to work at, we started a high-end staging
Okay.
toward the end of my time there, and it does take quite a bit of investment in
Yes.
the beginning, because
Yeah.
you've got to build your inventory,
Sure.
and be able to furnish these very large homes
Homes.
with
Yeah.
very high-end pieces. But once you get that inventory established, it's very lucrative.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah,
there's a lot of clients that don't really know how to fill a space. And when you want to buy something and it's completely empty, it's often not that appealing for them, because they don't see the opportunities that the rooms have, or the complete home has. So yeah, it is a good, I think it's a great way for getting new clients or selling your property more
mm-hmm.
easily. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But as you say, it's a big investment if you really want to do it high end.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Yeah.
Another way is like partnering with other brands, so that you can kind of furnish and learn the space that way. That was what we did at
Yeah.
the beginning, before we had a full inventory. But yeah, I do think that it's important to, well, the interiors really sell the space, and most people, whenever they're purchasing a property or a home, they have some sort of a vision, but they're not really sure how to execute that. And so
Yeah.
it works for everyone involved, all artists involved, if it's already staged perfectly with beautiful furnishings and
Yeah.
accessories and whatnot.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing those things. That's interesting. I always find it so fascinating, the differences in culture, and it's one of my favorite things to do, to travel around and learn what is common in other cultures, and create in order for them to create their aesthetic, their traditional aesthetic that is informed in throughout, you know, time and throughout that culture, and then the differences between what I am used to and
that's
my
true.
culture.
It's just what you're used to.
And then being able to blend those two through your, you know, I think we're all influenced now. It's so much easier to be, I guess, the global design is much more accessible with social media and
Sure, yeah.
and whatnot, and so I think we're all influenced by one another, and but to see it in person is something so different. You know, the textures and textiles and whatnot are
definitely. That's the first thing that I say to my clients. You need to feel it, you need to touch it.
Yeah.
and then something magical happens, you know.
Yeah.
That's
it's completely different than seeing it printed out on a piece of paper, or
absolutely.
it comes to life, you know. It's living, it's breathing almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what would you say has been the most transformative part of your journey in this as a designer?
I think starting on 5 years ago, I started full-time on my own, and I had a lot of collaborations, and I think that is most transformative for me. Yes, and which is really nice, because you meet a lot of people, different projects, different styles. Yeah, I guess that.
The connections, the collaboration.
Yes.
And what would you consider your greatest accomplishment?
That's a hard one, but for me, I think it would be very simple, is that I can do what I love. My job, I really love my job because it's my passion. I think that's one of the greatest accomplishments. Yeah, to be able to do it as a job. Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't feel like work.
No, definitely not. No.
Yes, there are hours and hours and hours and hours and hours put into it, but it's you enjoy it, so it keeps you going. You know, you're able to work until 2 a.m. and then wake up at 6 a.m. to get started again because
you just love it.
Because the love and passion surrounding the business. I can relate to those answers so much. So you have children. Are girls?
3 girls, 3 daughters. Yes.
3 daughters.
Yes.
And are any of them into interior design?
No. I have 2 daughters in university. One is studying to be a doctor, and one is studying to be a lawyer. So that's very different.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she's too young to say what she's going to be. So I don't know. She loves my work, but I don't know if she's going to do that. I don't know. So you never know.
Yeah, you don't. And I'm sure that they appreciate, though, all of the beauty that if they grew up with you as their mom, then I am certain that your home was always so beautiful, and so they can never go back with just basic aesthetics.
Yes, I always have to help them, you know, when they went studying in a different city, so they had like a room there, and then yes, I always have to help. Mom, can you help? What should I put there or there? And that's really nice.
And so there, do they have like roommates? Do they have dorm roommates?
No. The oldest one, no, the middle one had, she changed. Normally, we call it like a room. In Belgium, we call it like a room. It's small, and then you have like just a bed. And if you are lucky, you can share. You have your own shower or your own toilet. But you can also have just a real room in the college itself. There's different ways of finding your your own space to sleep and to stay during the week, which is also different, by the way, in the States. So when you really go to university, it's usually a different state often. So it's so far they don't come home every weekend. In Belgium, the children, they come home in the weekend from university. So that's also a different thing between the States, yeah, and Belgium. So yeah.
Their dorm rooms, or I don't know if it's called a dorm, but their college rooms are amazing. Mine was tragic.
Yeah,
I'm not even joking you. It was horrific. I mean, first they put you in these. Well, my university anyway. You start out as a freshman in tiny, like a shoebox almost, and then you're paired with either a friend or like someone that you don't know, that's another girl, and in my case it was someone I didn't know, and so you have to kind of like blend the aesthetics.
Yeah, then it's hard then.
At that age, you know, I couldn't afford all of the things that I would love, but yeah, I mean, it was just a whole hodgepodge of just mess. But
so funny.
So much fun.
Well,
I'm sure your girls, their room is like to perfection, designed to perfection.
Well, designed maybe, but I don't know if they keep it that way. I don't go there every week to check up. But no. So yeah, no, they're studying completely different things. So at this moment, no interior designers.
Both very like high achievers, going after, you know, some very honorable careers.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, this was so lovely. I'm going to start the closing questions.
Yes.
So what designers, artists, people inspire you and have influenced you, past, present, whatnot, and are there any recent like new discoveries that you have come across?
I find that a really hard question because there's so many good designers, architects. We see so much on social media. For me, it would be very hard to just pick a few because there's so many. Mm-hmm. And I think just by not have one favorite, it just brings more to my knowledge, because it inspires me from more different people than just this one or two people. I like designers from France. I like them from the States. I like, for example, Banda Properties in England. They have nice designs as well, which sometimes is completely a different style that maybe people are used to seeing from me, but also beautiful. There's so many, too many.
Too many. And any new recent like even artists that aren't designers or that just kind of motivate? It could even be textiles. No, I think there's just a plethora.
Well, there's like that, how do you say that? Can't get to the right word in English. I've always had a love for, just one second.
Yes.
Very stupid, but I can't find the name at this moment. Velvet.
Oh, velvet.
That's it.
Velvet.
Yes, I've always had a love for velvet. Always had that.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And that color is so gorgeous. Is it like a jade? Yes?
Yes, it's like a jade, yeah. And then the next one is the bouclé.
Oh,
had that from when I was a child. Those two fabrics are my favorite.
Your favorite.
Yeah.
And they add completely different feelings, emotions to a space. You know, one is extremely luxurious, and the other is a little bit more casual, yet a completely different texture and blending those two materials specifically is magic. I
Yeah,
think.
I agree. I agree
Those
completely.
are great. If you weren't an interior designer, what would you be?
Yeah, I would be in the fashion industry because I love sewing myself so
Yeah,
much. When I'm behind like a sewing machine, I forget time. It's yeah. So I would be definitely something doing something with that. Yeah.
I need some tips. I cannot sew to save my
Oh
life.
wow.
Like it was not good. But also, you know, I think that anything that you put a lot of time and energy into, then you are able to master it. I don't think that I put as much time and energy. It was more the pairings and the designs themselves
Yeah.
and coming up with a whole look. So
Yes. Yeah.
so
Yeah. I've
yeah.
been doing it for 27 years now, and I still love it. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I would love to see some of your designs sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not now, but
Not
like
now. Not now.
anytime in the future. I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's great. I'll show
And
you.
then anything new and exciting in the pipeline for you?
Yes, there's a lot of new projects coming up abroad actually, but I cannot talk about it yet.
Yeah, no.
And some of them I'm not allowed to talk about, so that happens too. So yeah, but I'm really excited about the new projects. Yeah, definitely.
I'm so excited to see all of your beautiful work. I know it will be stunning.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to meet you in person.
Yeah,
Uh,
that would be great.
yeah, it would be so much fun and and I am so grateful for your time and for you sharing your story and
You're
uh,
welcome.
you know, I think that
Thank-
that's what makes this business, this industry so beautiful is to connect and share our journeys and stories.
Sure, yes.
It creates this almost, I think, this industry can have a stigma about having being unrelatable or unattainable or whatnot, and it kind of breaks that barrier down and creates this kind of common human thread almost, where
Yeah,
we're all just we any kind of competitive spirit is gone away with, and we just celebrate one another's gifts, unique gifts that no one else can offer in this world. And I'm just so grateful that you shared yours, are sharing yours with the world, and a little
thank you
bit of
so
your
much.
journey with me today.
It was
And
a pleasure.
and
Thank you
yeah,
for asking me, Ed.
oh my gosh, no, yeah, I intended on reaching out to you from the beginning because I'm just so inspired by you,
Thank you.
I love the this community and being able to connect through a common kind of passion for all of us.
Yeah.
But
It
again,
didn't.
thank you. I know it's late for you,
Yeah, it's dark now
and I
outside.
hope that you have a beautiful day and rest of your week. And
Thank you. You too. Have a nice day because it's still early for you, I guess.
yes, yes, it is. We've got a
Probably.
busy day planned, but yeah. Again, thank you, and thank you to everyone that joined us. This
Yes,
was
thank
so
you,
much fun.
everybody.
Yeah, I we'll talk soon.
Yes, definitely. Bye, Amanda. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.